What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, recently I talked about Bradley Beal to the Clippers and how that makes them a formidable side, makes them a dangerous team, and the balance of the team, in my opinion, works very well. It looks like the Clippers weren't done there, ladies and gentlemen, as they added another guy to their group that brings a lot of questions. And he's a guy that's played for the Clippers a lot of his career. Some people say the Clippers is his home. And today, I want to talk about the reunion of Chris Paul joining the Los Angeles Clippers. What an interesting turn of events, ladies and gentlemen. Does it make sense? Does it make them a retirement group? That's all I've really seen from social media recently when I looked at the reactions to this deal. It's the fact that people think the Clippers are now the retirement home in the NBA. Well, we have to talk about it a little bit in this video. Before we get any further, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know what you guys think about the Clippers bringing in Chris Paul. Is it a good move? Is it a bad move? Is it an indifferent move? Does it really take them to the next level? And everything in between. So, I must admit, Chris Paul to the Clippers, at least from, a story perspective, because I'm a big story guy. I was always hoping for the D-Rose reunion. I'm so happy Damian Lillard is back in Portland, and I'm very happy that Chris Paul is back on the Clippers. It does make me feel a little bit nostalgic, ladies and gentlemen. And nostalgia aside, I still think this is a relatively okay move for the LA Clippers. Again, Chris Paul is not in the peak of his career anymore. The way that I see this happening is Chris Paul is going to be coming off the bench and running and orchestrating the team off of the bench. Brings the nice, capable, veteran, and still able to go point guard to the Clippers and producing off of the bench. I mean, Chris Paul, to this day, is still one of the best playmakers in the league. Someone that will always get people open, someone that can always find the open man, and someone that can still create his own shot, even if he doesn't do it at a high level anymore. So I respect what the Clippers have done here in terms of bringing Chris Paul in and bringing him as that bench option that can lead and help a lot of guys. I think the big men are ecstatic that they've got Chris Paul in there because Chris Paul is very good at finding the open big men. So guys like Zubac and Brook Lopez, again, the fact that I'm even saying those two together on the same team is a very scary sight. They'll be ecstatic with a guy like Chris Paul in there. And I think the Clippers organization and fans are very happy to see this as well. So all in all, you can say what you like about retirement home this, retirement home that. I still think it's a good move. Ultimately, it will bring questions. And the first question is, how can a group like this that is aging play together? Because there was a time where the Cleveland Cavaliers said, screw it, screw age, screw, run and gun, screw all this stuff. Let's go get some of the best veterans in the league. And what happened to them? I mean, they brought in Derrick Rose. They brought in Dwayne Wade. They brought in a whole bunch of guys into that team. The new look Cleveland Cavaliers, and they were horrible. They were absolutely horrible together because a lot of them were past their primes and they couldn't keep up with the modern NBA anymore. They just couldn't do it. Dwayne Wade just wasn't the player that he used to be. He wasn't the run and gun Dwayne Wade that we know. Derrick Rose unfortunately got injured that season as well. Just a very aging team. And, there was at one point in time where if you put Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, and LeBron James on a team, you would think easiest championship of your life. But the fact that they got them at the time that they got them, it didn't work. So you have to ask the question with the Clippers, will this work for them? Look, the modern NBA is very fast-paced. So the Clippers, I don't see as a team that's going to be pushing the tempo and being ridiculously fast. I just don't see that happening. James Harden isn't typically a fast player. He likes to slow the tempo down, use the pick and rolls. Bradley Beal, when he plays well, it's the isolation game. It's the shooting game. It's not necessarily the fast tempo. Kawhi Leonard, he's kind of can do everything, so who cares about Kawhi Leonard? He can play fast. He can play slow. He's very good at isolation as well. John Collins, he's a relatively quicker guy. Zubac, I wouldn't say plays dramatically fast. This is going to be a slower paced team. So in a slower pace environment, it could potentially help for the playoffs because the playoffs is a slower half-court offense type of game. But in the regular season, when teams are running and gunning and playing quickly, I do fear for the Los Angeles Clippers in that regard. So the best way for the Clippers, in my opinion, to win games is to break the opponent down on the offensive end. It is to slow the game down. The last thing the Clippers want to do is to have teams running and gunning on them, breaking out in transition on them. So you have to slow it down. So I think the best way is the pick and rolls, the isolation, and taking as much time off the shot clock as possible so that teams don't have the chance to kind of beat you in transition. That's where I see the Clippers thriving. If they could do that successfully with the coaching staff they have in place, I see them being a team that's still going to be dangerous, even with Chris Paul added to them. But if they can't do that, and they fail to do that, and it doesn't work out in their favor, and teams are running right through them, I think the Clippers will make a change very quickly before it gets ugly. And that's what they're going to have to do. But it's going to be, I guess, a wait-and-see approach here. I'm very excited to see what this Clippers team can do. I really am. Because, I mean, the first game that Chris Paul steps in with that LA crowd, standing ovation, you know me. I love a good standing ovation, bro. I love a team that's going to respect a player that gave so much to them and made them relevant in an era where they weren't really relevant, the Clippers. So they're a relevant team now, that's for sure. And they're a team that is going to pose a threat to a lot. But there is a weakness there, and I fear for that weakness. And of course, with Chris Paul, I guess the second thing we could talk about, he's another player that doesn't have the best injury record in his career. Now, I'm pretty sure last season he actually played really well, played most of the games and whatnot. I think it was last season. Maybe it was 2 seasons ago. I feel like there was a stat where he was the oldest player to play 82 games or something like that. I don't know when that was, but that's very impressive stuff. But still, the majority of his career since leaving the Clippers, even with the Clippers, he has been an injury-prone player. So you're adding another one of those players to the team. I really don't know how that's going to fare for them. So questions for sure. If somehow they could get it all working together, they will be a threat, and I'm scared of the Los Angeles Clippers. But if injuries hit, if they're beaten in very obvious ways, then I think changes will happen quickly. The Clippers are taking a risk. It really is go all in or go home. That's how I feel like it is with the Clippers right now. This is kind of their last chance, and they're throwing everything at it. I hope it works out for them. Maybe not too much because obviously I want the Bulls to win, but still, you know, it's a different conference and the Bulls are not really close. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching though. If you enjoy the video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. If you are new, Chris Paul to the Clippers, are you happy or are you kind of indifferent about it? Stay safe, stay happy, healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.